Today was race 9 of race roulette, the Yarrow Valley 10k splash race over in Chorley. Um, it's a trail race that starts off in a country park and works out into some woods areas, out past some farms and that sort of thing. Um, Really good race. Genuinely enjoyed it. Couple of little problems. The organisers had a bit of a mare. They put a load of arrows out to point the runners in which direction they were supposed to run, and overnight, someone's nicked some of them, or thrown them away, or thrown them in the river. So, the first maybe 100 or so people got the full route in, and then after that, there was only when we got to the finish line, we'd only got 4.2 miles on us watches. So we literally had to turn round and sort of make it up by running round in circles, essentially. Now, you run through two rivers on this route. They're not mega deep. They're probably, I don't know, shin deep. But on a hot day like today, it was fantastic, totally soothing. And my trainers came out cleaner than when they went in. It was great. The marshals... first of all, the marshals didn't have high vis on to identify that they were a marshal. So that was a potential problem there, because it could have just been anybody pointing that you go this way. We'd have just followed. There were three of us from Blackburn Road Runners today, and we stuck together throughout. We sort of chatted and laughed and took photos, and one girl, Gemma, told us that if you lick the sweat coming down your face, you can tell your alcohol blood level by the salt in the sweat, which is a point that she asked me to mention. So a lot of people have got to finish mine with only 4.2 on clock, or 4 miles. And the marshals, this is a professional marshalling service. It's not like a bunch of random people who maybe got confused or somebody's wandered off. I don't know how this has happened. I felt a bit sorry for the guy, really. But absolutely no complaints. The route was fantastic. The terrain was fantastic. The rivers were great. I'm going to introduce them on Sunday runs. In fact, we enjoyed the rivers. We did it a third time on us looped out to try and up the mileage. And then we went back to the start area. There's a pub there where they have the awards being handed out. And it was a bit chaotic, but it was brilliant because it was relying on people's honesty. So when he said, for example, at Vet 45, two blokes held their hands up and one said 109 and the other one said 108, and he handed it to the guy with the 108. Nobody had to check watches or go through, any kind of proving it. It wasn't like that. And then there was some where there wasn't anybody, so they sort of handed it to the closest person. There was a bit where they didn't have a female vet 80, so Kath, who's also in Blackburn Road Runners, put her hands up and said, well, I feel like I'm 80, so he handed her the prize. Fair play, Kath. And then they had like a big bag with 6 bottles of wine in, and you could pick one out, so I did. So I ended up with a rosé. I was going for the red, but this woman, her hands like shot out to get the red wine, so she must really like it. Now, medal. Let's talk about the medal. There you go. I don't know if you can see that properly. There you go. Memorable events, Yarrow Valley Splash. I highly recommend this race. I know he's had a bit of a mare today, and I know it's gone wrong, but it was honestly one of the best races I've ever done. I enjoyed every bit of it. Not just because there were 3 of us laughing and joking his way around it. I think the terrain was great. The place that it was great. I honestly can't think of a bad word to say about it. So overall, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Now the next race is Chester Metric Marathon, so we'll see how we get on there. Bye!